Good morning, Profitpreneurs. How are you today? I want to welcome you to Training Thursday in the Profitpreneur Circle. I am your host, Kelly O'Neill, and I have a very, very special presentation for you today that's a little bit different than our normal Training Thursday. It's a little bit more expanded. So I am so excited to be here with all of you and to be sharing this information. I'm just going to wait a second while you guys are popping on here. Good morning, Miss Tanya. Good morning, Ona. Ona, let's connect after this. Good morning, Marianne, Margarita. I see the PBI. The PBI crew is jumping in force, and this is going to be great for you guys too, because I'm going to be releasing some information here that is going to be really different than what you guys have heard before, and this is a lot of what we're going to be covering at the Marketing to Millionaires workshop. So, well, it's a glimpse into what we're going to be covering. So I've got lipstick everywhere. Thank you. It's new. I appreciate that. All right, guys. So good morning. For those of you who are brand new to our training, the first thing that I want to invite you to do is introduce yourself. So I want you to go ahead and drop your information below. If you know your profitpreneur type, do that. If you, yeah, exactly, PBI is representing. If you know your profitpreneur type, drop that below. Let us know a little bit about your business. Introduce yourself to one another so you guys can collaborate and you can meet. Again, so I want to give you a little background for those of you who are brand new to these calls. First of all, again, my name is Kelly O'Neill. I am the person that created the Profit-preneur Circle for high-performance entrepreneurs who are looking to market to affluent clients and build a sustainable business. I am a brand marketing and profit strategist, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about myself in a moment. But first, I want to tell you a little bit about the circle. This is a very unique circle, and we do not allow everyone in. In fact, we vet everyone who is coming in the circle, and we've got people in here from literally all over the world. From the Czech Republic, we've got people from Nicaragua, we've got lots of people from the UK, Slovenia. I mean, just literally all over the world join us for different things. So every Thursday we go live and we do a profit training in here, like the one I'm going to give to you today, although this one's a little bit expanded. And then also every quarter we do a live profit intensive. We just finished up our Marketing to Millionaires profit intensive, although we are doing a mini blitz next week. So if you're interested in that, make sure you register, because it's going to be in a different group. We're going to do a pop-up group so we don't bother everyone that just went through it. And we also do lots of like networking and lots of fun stuff here in between. Okay, so a little bit of a background about me is, again, my name is Kelly O'Neill, and I am a brand marketing and profit strategist. And what I've been doing for the last 20 years that I started my business is I've been helping entrepreneurs really position themselves in the marketplace to not only make them stand out from all the clutter and noise, but also really help them position themselves to attract affluent clients. So I am known as like the go-to expert in marketing to millionaires, and that is what we are going to talk about today. So I'm curious, how many of you in here are already marketing to millionaires, and how many of you are wanting to learn? Because it is very different than the stuff that's being taught in general marketing, in general marketing circles. In fact, the stuff that is being taught in general marketing circles not only does it not work with affluent clients, it actually repels them because it's so different. So what I know is that when a lot of people come to me, they feel like they're spinning their wheels, right? They feel like they're doing all the things and they're not really getting anywhere, right? And even if they're getting a big list of people to talk to, they're not the right people, because when it gets time for them to offer their services, which are generally not priced high enough anyways, what's happening is they get oh, I can't afford you. right? And that's a bummer. So is that happening to anyone here, right? Where you are going after these individuals, and you're going after these individuals and they are nowhere to be found, right? It's like, and you're sick of having that same conversation over and over again. And a lot of that happens because what's happening is people are, I'm just gonna get seated differently here. A lot of what's happening is that people are utilizing these mass marketing strategies, and then they're surprised when the quality of leads are not bringing them buyers that can afford their services. But that's exactly what you would expect using some of these things, which we're going to talk about today. Okay, so I know that a lot of our clients in here have already switched. Leanne, Tanya, Marion, Yvonne. I mean, a lot of our PBI clients are in here and they've switched to the marketing, to the affluent strategy, and they're working that strategy. And every single day in our Profitology Business Incubator, it's like, oh my gosh, I just got a client. Oh my gosh, I switched what I was doing. And now I'm actually marketing into the right circles. People are speaking in front of the right people, right? They're getting in front of the right people. And so they're getting the right clients who are ready to say yes. So this training specifically today, because again, it's a little bit different than our normal ones. Our normal ones are about like 30 minutes long. This one's gonna be a little bit longer and a little bit more in depth because I have a lot of information to share with you about the affluent market, because we are arguably in one of the biggest shifts right now in the affluent market that we've ever had before. It is like the changing of the guards. And this is why I decided, because I don't do a Marketing to Millionaires live event every year. In fact, I haven't done one in 2 or 3 years. But this year we're doing one. I'm also redoing our Marketing to Millionaires high-end cash infusion program. And the reason why is because so much has changed that even though a lot of the stuff is the meat of how to market to affluent, a lot of the tactics are changing, and we have a deepening of the learning about the market and really the new market. So we're going to be going over this today. Right, you guys, this is not like a fluffy, like how to throw up a Facebook post and get clients training. This is if you are serious about marketing high ticket items, products and services, mostly services, to affluent clientele who can say yes on the spot, right? Then this is the right place for you right now. So who's that, right? Like, I drop it below. Like if that's you, drop it below. All right. So I want to talk to you about what we're going to talk about today. So I'm going to share with you, I've got notes here because I have a lot of statistics, right? So there's so much that's changed. I want to make sure I get you all of the correct information. So we're going to be talking about the 5 keys to market to affluent clients in 2020. So this is different than what I've taught previously because the market is different, right? And this is, by the way, the exact information that I use and the exact strategies that I use with my private clients who pay me up to $100,000 a year, sometimes more, as well as with all my students in my Profitology Business Academy and my business incubator, right? These are the exact same things that I'm going to be teaching you today. All right, so we're going to talk about the first thing we're going to talk about is the fundamental shifts in the affluent market. So we'll get to that in a minute. You're going to need this information to be able to successfully market to affluent clients. I'm also going to talk to you about the 5 core marketing tactics that you need to be aware of in order to market to these affluent clientele. And I'm going to talk to you about, if you have not yet transitioned your business, what exactly you need to do to transition your business to market to affluent clients, because it is very different. Oh, wow, that's exciting. Someone is like throwing confetti up on my screen. That was exciting. I've never seen that before. Whoever did that, thanks. So that is what we are going to talk to. So make sure you have a pen and paper, because this is going to be a deep dive. We're going there today. All right. So again, if you have just started on this, introduce yourself. Let us know a little bit about your business. And then also, if you are watching the replay, just put #replay so that we know that you you showed up. So again, I've been teaching this forever. When I first started my business in 2001, I had a highly successful career in corporate America. I was doing brand positioning and marketing and helping. I was helping a lot of these tech companies either get funding, or I was helping them to get acquired. I was repositioning them to get acquired or to go public. So I was like hired as a sharpshooter in that arena. Now, when I decided to go out on my own, right, and everyone told me not to go out on my own because I had such a cushy job, right? I was an executive in my 20s because I had such a fast track career. Everyone's like, are you nuts? Why are you leaving and starting your own company? I'm like, for lots of reasons. And partially because I saw a consultant bill fly across the desk for payment, and she was billing for like a quarter's worth of work what I was getting paid in base a year. I'm like, oh no, I'm starting my own company, right? Like that's it, I'm starting my own company. So I did. And when I started my company, I was using the exact strategies that I am going to be talking to you guys about today. I was marketing very high ticket consulting retainers to high-end buyers. And that's what I knew, not only because I came from corporate America, but also the other piece, and one of the things that really differentiates me in the marketplace is I was raised in a very affluent culture. So my dad was an entrepreneur. He made a series of very successful real estate investments, and you know, the life that I was brought up in. Now wait before you pull out your violin for me, because I promise you, my dad also had this, like, you're gonna make your own money, like you're gonna work for it yourself. So I was not spoiled, but I did have the benefit of being in this very affluent community. I mean, you know, I was raised in a very large house with 2 housekeepers. We had a plane, we had 9 cars, we had 2 vacation homes in Tahoe and Palm Springs. And, you know, my dad would fly us there. You know, we were raised in the country club lifestyle. So I was privy to all these things. And that's really what I knew, because the people that my parents associated with were all like major bigwig tech executives, entrepreneurs, these types of people. That's who lived in our neighborhood. That's who we hung out with. That's who the families we vacationed with. They were all doing that. And so my mindset, here's the benefit of this, right? My mindset, I really got it because that's the culture I grew up in. I knew how they thought. I knew how they bought. I knew what they didn't like. I knew what their private conversations looked like. You know, I sat at the lunch table with them, right? When we were at the, you know, at the club or whatever, you know, so I really had this immersion into affluent psychology. And then when I paired that with my marketing expertise, I'm able to convey things to you guys in a way that is very different than someone that did not have an affluent upbringing. Even if they have money now, right? It's a little bit different, right? So I'm going to be explaining to you guys this information. Now, again, don't think I was spoiled, because my dad was like, oh, if you want a car, go get a job, right? I mean, I was actually the antithesis of spoiled. He was like, I am not going to have you growing up like a spoiled brat. You're going to earn your way everywhere. Look, if I borrowed $5 for gas, he charged me interest, okay? That's the family I grew up in. That's a whole different story. All right, but I've also been where you guys have been, because once I had started this strategy of marketing to millionaires, and then I got into some of these seminars and some of these workshops, and they were like, why are you doing services? You need multiple streams of income. You need to leverage, you need to write a book. Like, you're not showcasing your expertise. You need to do, all these things. And why don't you have a digital product that you're selling online so you're making money in your sleep? And I was like, oh my God, yes, why am I not doing that? That sounds amazing. So what ended up happening, I'm going to shortcut this story, is I went from having a extremely, extremely lucrative, ridiculously high profit, like 95% profit consulting business, to having a high revenue generating company where I could barely pay myself, right? That's what happened. That was my story. And I know that I'm not alone. So I get that. And I was doing all the things they were telling me to do. And I couldn't figure out why it wasn't working. I'm like, I'm I'm smart. I'm a marketer, for God's sakes. Why isn't this working for me? And then I started to put it together, right? And I started to realize, because I thought I was the only one. And then I started to ask questions, and I was like, oh, I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. Has that happened to anyone else in here? Right? I mean, I drank the Kool-Aid. Like, I didn't drink it. I like beer bombed the Kool-Aid, right? Like, I had at it. And then finally, I was like, oh, this is stupid. I'm going back to the way that I used to market. And I'm doing this my own way, because what I also learned was that a lot of these people that were teaching this information had not either been able to create this in their own business, and or what I learned was that they were spending like $1.2 million to make 1.1.5. And they were basically making like 50 grand off of their $1.2 million. I'm like, so you're basically just working really, 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 really hard to pay yourself basically nothing. Like, that sounds like a super shitty plan. I'm going back to my old one. So that's what happened. Okay. So that was my experience. So if you are wanting to create a high profit, high ticket business where you're focused on marketing to affluent clients, and by the way, anybody can do it. It requires courage and it requires expertise. That's it. Courage and expertise, right? So the courage you're going to have to bring. I can inspire you, but the courage is all you. I can give you the expertise, right? I can walk you step by step through it, just like I've walked my clients step by step through the process, right? All right, so you're gonna wanna stay to the end, because I am going to share something with you, and I'm gonna share something very special for you guys that is only gonna be available for the first 10 people. So am I gonna make an offer at the end of this? Absolutely, because I wanna be able to train you in this if that's something you are interested in doing, okay? We don't hard pitch here though, so don't worry about it. I'm gonna give you lots of value. All right, so let's go. So the first thing is, let's talk about the affluent market. When I started training in the affluent market, a lot of the people that we were marketing to, because you know how there's different generations. There's like the baby boomers, and then there's like the Gen X and the Gen Y, and you know, the millennials and whatnot, right? So when I first started marketing, a lot of the way that we were teaching people to market was we were teaching people to market primarily to the baby boomers, right? You know, we were marketing primarily to the baby boomers, and we were starting to market a little bit to kind of like my generation. I'm going to be 47 in March. So we were starting to market to my generation. The strategies and tactics we used to market to people with those mindsets was different. Now, there's a lot of it that's still the same, because there's some basic marketing principles that work with all affluent clients, and those are the cornerstone of every strategy and tactic that I teach, and I'm going to talk about those today. But you guys, the baby boomers are kind of marketing out. A lot of us that are marketing now are needing to learn how to market very strongly to Gen X, Gen Y, and even, yes, the millennials. And here's what I need you to know. They buy differently. And a lot of the old marketing crap, especially online, not only is completely ineffective, it's completely ineffective with your affluent client. It's literally going to make them throw up in their mouth a little bit and run away from you. So I'm going to tell you what to do and what not to do. So I was reading this quote from Claudia D'Arpizio. Did not say that well, from Bain & Company. And she said, the luxury customer is present and is increasingly active, dramatically rewriting the rule book of the industry, right? Brands will need to pivot to a new model to respond to the customer's needs when it comes to buying, consuming, and communicating. So if you are still marketing in the old ways, and you are not pivoting to address what's going on in our market, you're going to be left behind, okay? It's not going to keep working the way that it has been working, and that's part of what I do. So here's the good news. When you guys work with me, You don't have to stay up on the affluent market because I'm staying up on it for you and I'm bringing it to you, right? No matter what, if you decide to market to affluent clients or not, you need to master your market. But imagine that I'm like the little researcher that brings you all of the information that you need to know about the affluent market, not only from research, but also from firsthand experience. So you have to know your market no matter who you're marketing to, okay? I want to talk also about, again, we're switching. So millennials, we've seen a big switch, and I talked about this last year a lot, that we see that the middle market is evaporating, which means you've heard the saying, the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. And unfortunately, that's true. I also want to say, and I'm not going to get into a political discussion here, I have very strong opinions, but I'm not going to get into it. But here's what I will tell you. The political and social climate absolutely has an impact on our affluent buyers, 1000%. In fact, people really underestimated how much that has had an impact, and it has had a profound impact on your affluent buyers and also on the way that you need to that they're consuming and the way that you need to communicate with them. And I addressed this kind of in my State of the Union before. I'm going to be diving deeper into this at the Marketing Millionaires Live. So it doesn't matter to me which side of the fence you're on. Here's what you need to know. It's affecting them, right? It's really, really, really affecting your affluent buyers. Millennials are making up right now 32% of the affluent buying market. Can you believe it? They have figured out how to make money like nobody's business, right? And they are driving the change. In fact, what they're saying is by 2025, they're going to make up 50% of the market. So for those of you who are marketing, why do we need to know this? Because if you don't start changing your market, you're like, if you have a service, they are an underserved market right now because people don't generally understand how to market to them. This also means great opportunity. Let me actually just also tell you, well, I'm going to get to that in a minute. I have thoughts about this, and as you can see, I'm not shy of sharing them. Gen Z are on track to represent 8% of the market by 2020, and both of these groups have extraordinarily different expectations in their purchasing decisions. They do not make purchasing decisions like anybody else, including my generation. They just don't. They're different. And so we have to understand those people, okay? The global super rich are shifting as well. And this is what they were saying, that their personal sense of identity is shaped by politics, social, and traditional media as much as by personal and business motivations. So we need to know about this, right? Luxury, as we know for a long time, the term like luxury, and even if that's in like business, you know, having a business strategist or, you know, anything that I think it's personally necessary, but they are looking for experiences more than stuff, right? We've known that for a while, but now it's even more important. And here's the deal. Experiences do not look the same to these generations. So to my generation, an experience might look like going to a Ritz-Carlton, you know, in some beautiful foreign country with beautiful water. They don't give a shit about that. That's not what they care about. That's not the type of experience that they're looking for. They're looking for life-altering experiences. So it's very, very different, okay? All right, so let's see. All right. A lot of them are self-made, right? They are also searching for people that align with their personal values, okay? They align with their personal values, and they have expectations for fast, tailored service in both the physical and digital realms. They do not want cookie cutter. So here's what I want you guys to know, because some of you might be saying like, oh my gosh, that's like a lot of information to have, right? Here's the deal. Most people, I shouldn't say most, Many people are either too scared to get into this market because they let all their personal mindset stuff come up, like, I'm not worth it. Are they going to listen to me? I don't know anything about them. They're scary. They've got preconceived beliefs and notions about affluent individuals. Okay, that's number one, right? So most people are not diving into this pool because they've got their own mindset stuff blocking them. That's why I say you need courage. The other thing is, many people are just too lazy. And I'm sorry to say that, but it's my opinion. I really feel that that's true. If you're one of those people, or you know these people that are like looking, that they just wanted to, either they want to just be like influencers online and they want to have pretty Facebook, they want to be famous. They're not going to do this. They're not going to do this work, right? That's not their deal. And then also the other thing is that if they also just are like, if they've taken the easy magic button pill, which is basically like, well, I just want to do online marketing because it's free and easy. I'd rather just do Facebook Lives, and I'd rather just do, posting on social media, and like, that's how I'm going to make up my whole marketing thing. And they think they're going to do it that way because it's easier and it's free and it's online and they want an online business. They're not going to do this work either, right? Because this is like real business work. So here's the good news. Those people are going to get eaten alive when the recession comes. You don't have to be that person. And when you dive in here, this is a very, very, very underserved market. Most people don't know how to market to them, and they're either, again, scared, lazy, or they don't know how. So if you are courageous, willing to, invest the time into and energy into the strategy, I can give you the expertise. So those of you who are on that train are going to be leaps and bounds ahead of the other individuals who are going to get wiped out when the recession comes. Okay, so that is the good news. That there is a huge market opportunity here. So for those of you who think that it's actually harder to market to affluent clients, it's actually easier. It's easier, and it actually can be cheaper, right? It can be cheaper than marketing to the masses. Mass marketing is extremely expensive. Consumer marketing is extremely expensive to get the kind of return on investment that you need. All right, so that's that. So that's number one. I want to talk to you about the 5 keys that you need to know, because this is very important, right? And this is, again, a major way. When I created my high-end cash infusion program initially, one of the ways that we were bypassing the gatekeepers to get to affluent clients was with faxing. And even though faxing was on the tail end of the out, it still totally worked, because it bypassed the gatekeeper. And while everyone was just trying to pilfer everyone with emails, it's like the faxing stood out, right? So that's part of the thing, is to get around the gatekeeper. Online marketing, you're not getting around a gatekeeper, right? Like, the gatekeeper is the person who's busy and not actually looking at a lot of stuff. So we're gonna talk about that. So here's the first key. Branding matters more than ever. And when I say branding, I am not talking about some hugely fancy whiz-bang website, okay? You can actually really attract affluent clients with a one-page website. That is something that I teach my clientele. You can do it, right? It's not about that, right? And here's what I will say. In certain industries, it is more necessary than others to have the full brand, but you can get started in marketing to affluent clients without it. But it does matter what it looks like. So if you've got a website up and I say website because if your marketing materials look like you created them back when mullets were popular, you're probably going to want to update your look, right? It's not going to work out. If you got rainbows and kitties and your messaging, I will tell you, and my clients will tell you, if your messaging is not on point and you sound like everybody else, you're screwed. You are screwed, because they don't want to buy from people that are that's not how they view themselves, right? It doesn't resonate to them. So if you're using really fluffy language or language like everybody else, it's not going to work out. right? I actually recorded a podcast, if you guys are subscribed to my podcast, called The Curse of the Vanilla Message. You need to stand out and you need to understand your market, right? I will also tell you that authenticity and simplicity and cleanliness in your marketing is going to rule. You know, it's really interesting. The online marketing circle is a bubble. And those of us that are all in it, it looks normal to us because we've been in the bubble. When you actually get outside of that bubble, if you talk to attorneys who do not do this stuff, if you talk to CPAs who are not in the online marketing world, doctors, all of these different types of traditional financial advisors, blah, 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 they are like, what is this crap? It really, like, what? What is this? I went to a conference. It was a leadership conference, and there were a lot of people from corporate America. And someone pulled me aside and said, is that stuff actually even real? I always thought it was like a scam, like a phishing scam. And I'm like, oh no, it's unfortunately real, right? And it works with some of the mass marketing, right? Or it works when online marketers are marketing to other online marketers because of the language. But you have to remember, a lot of your affluent clients, depending on who they are not familiar with that stuff. And when they see some of the tactics and strategies, because it's often very manipulative, it's often very inauthentic, it is often driven with conversions, or like, remember, although I do seem to think this is dying out, although I occasionally see it, when people have pictures of themselves with the private planes and the yachts and the, you know, whatever, sorry, but when they have all of that, they're like, affluent people don't take pictures in front of their planes before they get on, right? That's not, you know, it's just not, that's not what they're going to resonate with. So branding matters more than ever. Authenticity matters more than ever. They are going to smell through the bullshit. So if you were trying to put up bullshit, you're basically driving them away. All right, that's number one. Number two, this is a huge shift, and this has been a shift that's been coming. You know, I'm in a lot of I believe in conscious business, real conscious business, not just marketing conscious business. I believe in actually really having, I am in, like, to really having a values-based business and actually aligning with those values, not just saying them, but aligning with them. And these new affluent buyers, the market is more and more becoming values-based, right? They are, again, we talked about how they're being influenced by the social and economic stuff that's coming up, right? So like if you think of a brand, you guys can, I'm sure, can all think of a brand that maybe would get involved with a, you know, if they've gotten involved with something that is that is supporting something that's damaging the environment, let's just say, the millennial and Gen Z, they will boycott that company. In fact, I think a lot of socially conscious people will boycott that company and not buy from them anymore, right? Because it's not in alignment with their values, you know. Or you see people rocking around in, I don't personally care for them. I would totally buy like 1 million pairs and give them away, but I personally would not wear them because it's just not my jam. But Tom's Shoes is a great example of a socially conscious company that is doing good. And so people will buy those and wear those. And I'm sure some people find them attractive. So just don't take my opinion, you know, whatever. It's just me. But they will buy them and wear them because of the mission. So the values, right? Modern luxury has a purpose to it, and they want to see that you're aligned with your values. One of the things, for years, I have been working with the Unstoppable Foundation to raise funds to bring money to children in Africa under their Every Child Has a Right to Learn campaign, which I wholeheartedly believe in. And my students and I have built a village in Africa for these students to give them a link up out of poverty. I'm not saying to go out and do a charity just for marketing, because that's not authentic. But I want you to think about these things. They care about your values and they care about your opinions, right? And they want to know what you believe and what you stand for. And so if you are trying to like make everybody happy and you're not really standing in your values, or you're not sharing things, I'm actually about to do a live in a couple days that I'm certain is going to ruffle some feathers, but I fully believe in it and I'm standing behind it. And my clients are aligned with my stance on it. Otherwise they wouldn't be my clients. So if you need to be able to share what your values are and what you're taking a stand for, because again, they are, here's the statistic, 57%, you guys, 57% of consumers are more likely to buy from or boycott a brand because of its stance on social or political issues. 57%. Okay, so you do with that information what you desire. Okay, number 3, right? So number 1 was the branding and the consistency of message. Number 2 is the modern luxury has a purpose. You need to put your values out there and you need to stand for them. I'm big on integrity. So not only do you need to share your values, you need to actually be aligned with your values and stay in alignment with them. All right, number 3, you need to be reaching them both online and off. One of the things that can be frustrating initially for people that come into the Profitology Business Incubator, but then after they work our Marketing to Millionaires method, they're like, oh, I get it. Because now they're getting clients, they're getting speaking, they're getting all sorts of things, is we actually do not put our front forward. When we're in a cash infusion stage, we do not start in marketing to affluent clients online. We start offline. Okay. Again, most people are just marketing online. They are not marketing offline. The fastest way to attract and to build trust and to enroll affluent clients is in personal, direct contact. It's all about relationships. And I don't care whether it's the baby boomers or the millennials, people are more likely to buy from people that they have a relationship with. So if you are trying to follow the whole online marketing train, unless you are an e-commerce company that is only online, you've got to have what we call integrated marketing communications, online and offline. Right? One of the biggest mistakes that I see is people are, and this is one of the things we teach in module 2, right? So first we get you clarity in the incubator, but then in module 2, we literally teach you guys a strategy to find the gold right in your own backyard with people you already know, right? It's like, and all these people are spending all this time and money and energy marketing online, and they're ignoring the pot of gold in their own backyard. So you need to be both online and offline. Okay, now I do want to talk about online marketing because I do think it is more important. Okay, more than ever. So online marketing is one of my lesser favorite marketing to the affluent strategies. I have 5 other campaigns that I put in front of online marketing. And it has become more important than it was before. It is important to have an online presence, not necessarily for the reason you think. It is because there's so much BS out there that even if they've gotten a referral, they're going to research you out. And you need to have some type of online presence, okay? But here's what I want to tell you. The marketing strategies that you're going to utilize with your affluent clients are very different. The offers are different, the language is different, the way you're marketing to them is different. I'm going to give you a couple tips right now. Okay. Number one, everything needs to be short and concise. Think executive summary. You know, your online, your affluent buyers are never going to read a long sales page, which I mean, those are kind of extinct now too. But they're also probably not going to watch a 60-minute webinar or even maybe a 45-minute webinar, maybe. But get it down to like 30. It needs to be short and it needs to be on demand. So literally, I've taken several webinar training courses. Everything I had learned about marketing with webinars was based upon a mass audience. And when I utilized this webinar strategy to market to affluent clients, even though I told the person who was running my webinars, like, I don't think this is going to work with these guys. Like, I don't think this is going to, and he's like, you need to follow the process. Just trust me. And I was like, all right, well, I hired you, so I'm going to trust you. No, we worked on it for 4 months and literally zero, right? I since have gone back and redone it and done it my own way. Like, I kind of just made it my own way. I did it my own way, knowing what I know about affluent clients, and now it's more successful, right? They want things on, like, one of the things that you've probably heard in these webinar things is, you know, you need to make them come to a class and they have to sit there and they've got to wait. Or if you're giving a video series, they're like, you need to drip it to them. You need to make them wait and build the anticipation. That is a surefire way to piss your affluent clients off. They want things short, now, and on demand. They want it when they want it. And I will tell you, give it to them. Because here's the deal. They're not really watching that to consume the content. The reason they're watching that is to see if you're full of shit or if you look like you know what you're talking about. And I'm telling what they're thinking is this worth me actually getting on a phone call with someone and giving them 30 minutes of my time? That's what they're thinking. So it is a completely different strategy. So the other thing is it needs to be mobile friendly, right? Your marketing needs to be mobile friendly. We are, and you cannot be spammy with your mobile marketing with your affluent clients. It will not work out for you. So there are specific strategies that we teach to mobile market directly to affluent clientele. It's different, okay? Number 5, more than anything, and I kind of alluded to this earlier. Hold on, I'm gonna take a little sip of my coffee. More than ever, transformation and deep experiences trump stuff. Transformation and deep experiences trump stuff. So one of the things that I see happen a lot is people will like stuff the bundles with affluent clients. That's not what they want. They don't want all this crap. That's not what they want. They want the deep lasting transformation. They want a once in a lifetime experience. They want something they can't get anywhere else. One of the reasons I will tell you, despite my curriculum, but that's not even the major draw. I'm going to tell you right now, with our Profitology Business Incubator, it is because there's no other community like it. The experience they have in the Profitology Business Incubator is unlike anything they've ever had anywhere before in the market. It's the experience that keeps them, right? It's just different. So, and we put a lot of emphasis on creating that culture and creating that experience for our clients, because look, every program, well, first of all, this is an incubator, not a coaching program, but every program has trainings. Every program, has live Q&A calls. Every program has all that stuff. You've got to, that doesn't make anything any different. What's the experience that you're creating for your clientele? How are you going to translate that in your marketing? That's what's critical. It's like these once in a lifetime things that they're not going to get anywhere else. That is really important. And so when you're putting together like your proposal or your offer or whatever, it's not even necessarily just about that. it's not just about that. It's what's the experience that they're going to have with your company. You know, I remember when I bought my Mercedes here in Vegas, and you know, but yes, it's a Mercedes. It's nice, right? I've had Mercedes before. I'll have Mercedes again. But when I bought that particular one, the experience that I had, not only during the buying process, but when I actually bought it, you guys, it was second to none. I'm going to be sharing that at our live workshop. It was second to none. And the way that they continue to provide service to me, I don't even own my Mercedes anymore. I sold it last year because I needed an SUV for my dogs and for all of my other adventures. I sold it, but they still, like, they send my dogs cards, like birthday cards. I'm like, right? It's a world-class experience, and that is so, so, so important. So, okay, we've been going on for a while here. All right, good. I'm right on time. All right, so how has this been for you guys? I would love to hear what the thing is that you, let's see. What is the thing that really has stood out to you? What have you learned the most? And what is the thing that you're wanting to implement into your business? I would love to hear that. I would love to hear that below. Okay, so again, just in recap, the luxury market, the affluent market is totally shifting, right? We have a whole new generation of buyers that we have to become aware of, and that we need to make a conscious decision about whether or not we're going to be marketing to them or not. And again, you know, it depends on your business, right? There's no one size fits all strategy in the way that I do work. The good news is, though, is that most people are not courageous enough, or they are not willing to, you know, they want to try to take the easy pill method, and that's fine. Here's the great news. That means that you get to rise above, you get to leapfrog the competition. So strategy number one, branding, right? No vanilla messaging. It will not work. Authentic, clean, tight branding with a standout, affluent, attractive message. Number one, modern luxury has a purpose. You need to be able to really align your brand. And if you've actually done branding, because remember, branding is not a logo on a website. That's not branding. That's graphic design, which is a part of branding. Graphic design is one part of branding, right? So you got to make sure that you have clear values and that you're putting those values out in front of everyone. You need to be reaching your affluent customers both online and off. And number four, if you are going to be marketing online, you need to learn how to do it in an affluent, attractive way, right? Where it is short, it's shorter, it's concise, and it's mobile friendly. Okay, shorter, on demand, and mobile friendly. And then number five, more than ever, that world-class experience. It's not even necessarily the white glove experience. That could be part of it for some people. Depends on your market. That might be more appropriate to your Generation Xers, right? It could be more appropriate to your baby boomers, but maybe, you know, your millennials, like, they don't really care about that kind of stuff necessarily. So we've got to really understand those markets. Okay, so I can see that there's a lot of you on and a lot more. I love it. Rosalie says, I'm definitely doing more offline. I love it. Dion says, I really appreciate the information about conscious buying and clear values. So important, especially Dion, in what you do. You and I have a strategy. I think, do we have a strategy session today? I can't remember if it's today. I saw you on my calendar. Let's see. Great information. Love the tip on the socially conscious vibe. So important. Actually, Jeannie yesterday and I had our strategy call. Here's a good one. We aligned her messaging and got her super clear and created affluent, attractive. 20 minutes after we got off the phone with brand new stuff, she sold one of her high-end packages. 20 minutes after we got off, right? So I love that. I love that millennial generation makes up such a large percentage of the luxury market. All right, awesome. Keep dropping them below, right? Oh, yes, we do. Yay. All right, so keep dropping them below, you guys. I want to hear what it is that stood out for you. Now, I promised you guys that I was going to offer you guys something for those of you who are interested. Okay, I have a very special offer, especially this is not going outside of the Profit-preneur Circle. You guys always get special, my clients get special stuff because they're clients of mine, and then my Profit-preneur Circle people get Profit-preneur stuff because you're in the inner circle. All right, so look, I've given you a lot of information. Between this and a profit intensive, you've got enough information to kind of go out and start to dabble in this and be dangerous, right? I mean, I give you guys a lot of information to get you started in marketing to affluent clients. And like I said, my clients, you guys during the profit intensive, people go out and literally get clients using this method. They're like, oh my God, it works. I'm like, of course it works. Why would I be teaching it? Okay. But there's some of you who are like, I am ready to dive into this. I want to master marketing to affluent clients. And so I have got some good news for you. So I mentioned in the beginning of this broadcast that I'm redoing my stuff because the last time, I haven't done a Marketing to Millionaires event in 2 or 3 years live. I haven't done, I've not updated my course curriculum for Marketing to Millionaires in a few years. And it's just time to update it because it's so important, especially with the recession coming, that people understand how to market to these people, to this sect of individuals. And so that is why I'm going to create a very special thing for you guys here. So the first thing that I'm going to do, and there is going to be something for the first 10 of you who decide to register. So if you are even thinking about it, get ready. So here's what we're going to do. I have an event coming up, Marketing to Millionaires Live. It is March 16th and 17th in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's at my country club. Okay, so that's number one. Some of you have asked me, well, how's this different than the profit intensive? It is going to go way, 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 way deeper. Okay, so that's number one. It's going to go way deeper. We are going to be recording stuff, and especially for the online course is going to have the swipe files, the campaigns. Like, we're not going to cover that at the live event. It's going to be a dual immersion offer. So not only are you going to get to be live, where you are gonna learn things live, and you're gonna put together strategies live, and you're gonna be able to ask me questions and get everything that you need, and you're also gonna be able to network with all of these amazing individuals, right? My clients get clients all the time at live events, which is one of the things we teach, right? So not only are you gonna have this great community of individuals that you can network with, we're going to dive into this course curriculum, and we are also going to give you a copy of the Marketing to Millionaires online course. So we are going to give you both the live event and the course. So we're going to be selling afterwards, because once we do the live event, we're just going to have the course. We're going to be selling the course for $19.95. Okay, the event is also $19.95. So not only that, so that's $4,000. Not only that, we are going to be doing a live cocktail. I don't know why I said that. It's a cocktail party. We're going to be doing a cocktail party on the 18th to get everyone together so that we can network, and that's also going to be held at my country club. So you guys are going to get, if you decide to enroll, and this is something you're interested in, you are going to get the live event. You are going to get the course, and you're going to get the invitation to the cocktail party, right, for $19.95. So basically, we're giving you one free. Here's the even better news. The first 10 of you are going to get to bring a friend for free. So as long as they are qualified, and they have to be qualified, they have to be an entrepreneur, they have to be able to, market, they're wanting to market to affluent clients. They could even be a member of your team, whatever you want. The first 10 of you who enroll are going to get to bring a friend for free, which basically, if you split the cost, it's $9.95 for the first 10 of you. So that is what we have to offer you. We are going to be deep diving not only into deeper things that we talked about here. We are also going to be talking about a lot of things I don't talk about in the intensive. Referrals, testimonials, social proof. We're going to be talking about a lot of the online marketing methods that are working. We're going to be talking about social selling to affluent clients. We're going to be talking about a lot of those different things so that you guys can get the information that you need. So doors are open. We would love for you to come join us. If you've got questions about it, you can reach out by email. We're having some problems with our Facebook account right now. By email to concierge@kellyoneal.com. We'd love to have you there. I do not have plans to do another live Marketing to Millionaires event anytime soon. So that's not, so, you know, if you think there's another one coming this year or next year, we have no plans to do another one anytime soon. And you'll get access to all of it, plus to a really great community of human beings that you can network with. It's a kind of a fantastic experience. So we'd love to have you. If you are interested, all you need to do is go to the sales page. My team is going to drop it below. I don't know what the sales page is, but it just got dropped below, and you can meet a lot of these fab people. I hope this was interesting for you guys. If you're ready to enroll, jump on there now. If you've got questions, reach out to the concierge via email. And I hope this was fantastic for you guys. Next week, don't forget, we've got the Marketing to Millionaires Blitz. If you've not registered for that, that's an online training. You can do that as well if that's something you want to check out. Other than that, I will talk to you guys later. I hope this was fantastic for you. Thank you so much for joining us for another Training Thursday Live in the Profit-preneur Circle. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later. Bye.